All right, welcome back to another secondary prompt analysis video. In this video, we'll be analyzing the 2025 to 2026 secondary essay prompts for Wake Forest University School of Medicine. If the prompts change for this school, then of course we'll update the resources on our website accordingly. So, Wake Forest is located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and it's ranked near the top of the U.S. News and World Report's list of best medical schools for research. Out of 12,139 applicants in the entering class of 2024, just 498 were interviewed, and only 145 actually ended up matriculating. So that's a matriculation rate of only 1.2%. Part of the reason why Wake Forest is attractive is due to their 98.5% match rate. And that impressive stat is partially thanks to their Wake Ready curriculum, which provides a lot of opportunities for med students to try out various specialties during their clerkship and clinical rotations. Before we jump into prompt analyses, we just want to give you a quick reminder to check out our secondary essay library after watching this video, where you can read sample essays for every prompt required by every US and Canadian med school. It's over 1,600 essays in total, and that includes essay examples for Wake Forest itself. So if you want to see actual examples, like actual answers to these prompts, go check out our secondary premium example hub. And also don't forget to check out our secondary series right here on YouTube, where you can learn our key strategies for writing each of the 6 main types of secondary essays. Okay, so first up, prompt number 1 reads, "The mission of our academic health system is to improve health for all. Consider your abilities, insights, and previous experiences, and then tell us about your potential to help improve health for all." You have 200 words for this essay. So there are a few different possible approaches to this essay. Based on your own life experiences, you can choose which lens you want to filter your response through. For example, if you feel you have unique perspectives on healthcare access or health equity based on your background or the community you grew up in, then you may want to respond as if this were a diversity essay and write about how your individual life experiences impacted your insights and your goals as a future doctor. On the other hand, you may prefer to focus on insights or skills you gained while conducting research or while working with underserved communities. Skills like empathy, cultural understanding, conflict resolution, or advocacy are particularly worth mentioning, but be sure that you give details to show, rather than just tell, how you developed them. Focus on concrete experiences from your life and how they have equipped you with specific potential to help improve health for all. And try to tie that potential to a concrete goal if at all possible. What is the specific impact or outcome you want to achieve as a doctor? Okay, the next prompt reads, "Describe a non-academic challenge you have faced and explain how you overcame it." You also have 200 words for this one. So this falls neatly into the adversity essay category, and the only specification the AdCom gives is that you need to write about a challenge unrelated to academics. With that in mind, you can pretty much just follow the strategies we give for coming up with an adversity essay topic in our adversity essay video. To summarize those strategies quickly, you'll want to write about a challenge you encountered that compelled you to take action or make a tough decision. How did it affect you personally? What did you do to overcome the challenge? What did you learn about yourself or the world as a result? And then you'll want to explain how you'll use those lessons and skills learned to become a better future med student and doctor. Moving on to prompt number 3, it reads, "From your list of most meaningful experiences on the AMCAS application, choose one that has been the most formative in terms of your desire for a career in medicine. Why did that experience have such meaning for you in your decision-making process?" You have 200 words for this prompt as well. The main thing with this prompt is to make sure that you don't just repeat what you already wrote in your personal statement. That's a big one. You don't want to repeat what you wrote in your personal statement on your primary application. The best way to do this The best way to not repeat is to make sure you're really focusing on just that one most meaningful experience. We also recommend spending more words describing the impact that the experience had on you than on describing the details of the experience itself, especially since those details should have already been mentioned in your primary application. And just like with most secondaries, it's better to focus more on decisions you made and actions you took than on events that happened to you or that you passively observed. Remember, you want to show yourself being proactive and taking action. It's also a good idea to spend some time thinking about which of the AAMC core competencies for entering freshmen you developed during this experience, so you can clearly show the AdCom that you've thought critically about the responsibilities, personal characteristics, and lifestyle required to become a great doctor. Next up, prompt 4 asks you to please share an experience that demonstrates how you have collaborated with others. Like the first 3 prompts, you have 200 words with this one. This one is a little unique because not a lot of schools ask you to outright write about your collaboration skills. It's actually also a really great chance to show the Wake Forest AdCom how you fulfill a few of those AAMC core competencies. Teamwork and collaboration is one of the competencies, but a lot of the other ones go hand in hand with that too, like resilience and adaptability, reliability and dependability, interpersonal skills, etc. And if you choose to interpret this prompt sort of like a diversity prompt, you could also write about a time when you collaborated with people whose background or views were different from your own. In that case, you'd also be demonstrating your cultural awareness and cultural humility competencies. Whatever you choose to write about, just make sure your essay focuses on a single experience, since that's what the prompt is asking you for. Remember, it's always really important to read and reread the prompt so you know exactly what it's asking, even a very short one like this. It's important that you write about a context in which you took on an active role, rather than just passively observing or going along with a large group. From your essay, the AdCom should be able to answer questions like, how do you work on a team? How do you interact with people who don't share the same opinions or approaches to problem solving as you do? And thinking more specifically about the way the AAMC defines the teamwork and collaboration core competency, how do you prioritize shared goals and work together to achieve them? Share information openly with other team members, adjust your role between member and leader of the team when necessary, and provide and accept feedback. As with a good amount of these essays, it's also usually wise to mention something about how you plan to use these skills as a med student and future physician, so the AdCom knows that you're ready to put those skills into daily practice at Wake Forest. Okay, moving on to prompt number 5. It reads, describe your future goals, reflect on your past experiences, and describe how those experiences will shape your goals. Once more, you have 200 words to respond. So this one is a little unique too. It's another opportunity to elaborate on some of the most relevant experiences you mentioned in your work and activities section. But they also want you to contextualize those experiences by explaining how they contributed to the specific goals you've set for your future. You want to be as specific as possible here, which is always what you want to be, but here especially, you want to be specific. It's totally okay if you're still unsure about exactly which specialty you want to pursue in medicine, but for the purpose of this essay, narrow it down to just 2 or 3 max that you're seriously considering. Then think about what impact you want to have on the community. What kind of tangible difference do you want to make in people's lives through that role? Try to think in those terms when you're conceptualizing your future goals here. Prompt number 6 is a nice continuation of the previous one. It reads, tell us about any specific reasons, personal, educational, etc., why you see yourself here at the Wake Forest University School of Medicine. This one is a bit shorter than the others so far. You only get 150 words to respond. So this is a pretty typical why us essay. So your main priority here should be to demonstrate fit with Wake Forest. It actually ties in really nicely with the previous prompt, as I just said. So one great approach is to take those goals you just told the AdCom about and then show them how you plan to take advantage of specific opportunities at Wake Forest to make those goals a reality. And I say this every time I'm talking about why us prompts. You want to make it a why me prompt. You want to know what programs the school is offering but you want to show why you specifically would benefit from those programs, right? You don't want to just tell the school, like, oh, I want to go to your school because you have X, Y, and Z programs. No, you want to say, because these programs would help me in my future career in these specific ways, right? You're talking about yourself in relation to the school. You're not just talking about the school, but you definitely need to do research about the school. And you want to spend some time looking into those research opportunities, courses, or clinical experiences at Wake Forest that aligning with your goals so you can actually lay out your game plan for achieving them. This essay is also a great opportunity to talk about med student groups and initiatives you want to get involved in, especially the ones that are really unique to Wake Forest. Or you might want to mention specific aspects of the curriculum that really excite you, like opportunities that you'd have the chance to experience through the Wake Ready curriculum we mentioned earlier. For the final prompt, you get to have a bit of fun. They ask you, please tell us an interesting fact about yourself that a casual acquaintance may find surprising or interesting. You only get 50 words, so it needs to be brief. After the first 6 prompts, you might be worried that this is like a trick question, but don't overthink it. The AdComs will have 6 other essays worth of evidence for your professional skills and goals, so we recommend using this prompt to show another side of yourself. Don't just repeat an achievement you already mentioned in one of your essays or your work and activities section. Instead, you might mention a fun or unique hobby or talent, a trip you took, or a job you had that impacted your worldview but isn't directly related to medicine. Whatever you choose, don't take this one too seriously and let your personality really shine through so AdComs can get a sneak peek of the version of you they may be meeting soon in an interview. All right, that's all for Wake Forest. Their secondary application is relatively longer than some of the others out there, but the prompts are also fairly straightforward and cohesive. They all work together. So we hope you find this video useful while you're working on your secondaries. And if you'd like to read samples, again, for every single secondary prompt required by every med school in the US and Canada, be sure to visit our Secondary Essay Premium Example Hub, where we have over 1,600 essays in total. Thank you for watching. Take care.